Okay, picture this. You're in the beverage aisle at the supermarket.
We've all been there.
It's Friday night, you're tired, the lights are buzzing, and you are just paralyzed. Over on your left, you've got the sugary sodas.
The villains. We all know the story there.
Totally. Empty calories, sugar crash, all of it. But then you turn to your right.
And you see the glow, the neon promise of zero sugar.
Exactly. It promises everything, right? Sweetness without the sin. It feels like you found a cheat code for your health.
The Konami code for your diet.
Yes. But is it actually a free lunch? Or is there, a hidden cost somewhere? It feels a little like a glitch in the matrix. It looks like soda, it tastes like soda, but to your body, it's a ghost.
That's actually a surprisingly good way to put it, because for a long time, we thought that trick was completely harmless.
But it's not.
Well, we've got a huge stack of new research here in the lab today, mostly from 2024 to 2026, and it suggests things are a lot more complicated.
So welcome everyone to the Deep Dive Lab. Our mission today is to decode this, $6.6 billion industry of zero-calorie drinks. And the real question is that Diet Coke a health hack, or is it a metabolic Trojan horse?
And the answer is a kind of scientific civil war.
Yeah.
It's this battle between the short-term wins and the long-term risks.
A civil war. I like it. Okay, let's start with the lineup. Who are we actually drinking when we pop open one of these cans?
So you're usually dealing with the usual suspects. First up is the old guard, aspartame.
Ah, the classic, the Diet Coke.
Exactly. It's been around forever. It's about 200 times sweeter than sugar and still dominates the market. Something like 58% of our intake.
Wow, almost 60%. So chances are if you're drinking diet, you're drinking aspartame.
Highly likely. Then you've got the powerhouse, which is sucralose. You'd know it as Splenda.
Or in Pepsi, zero sugar, right?
Yep. That one's about 600 times sweeter than sugar.
600, that just seems insane.
It's a lot for your taste buds. And then you have the sidekick, Ace K, which is usually blended in to cover up any weird aftertaste.
But I feel like I'm seeing a shift. People, especially younger consumers, seem to want stuff that sounds more natural.
Oh, absolutely. The clean label shift is huge. That's where you get things like stevia and monk fruit.
Monk fruit. It sounds like something you'd get from a wise old man on a mountaintop.
It does sound nice, doesn't it? But here's the thing we have to remember. Just because it comes from a plant doesn't mean it's inert in your body. That ghost effect you mentioned, it applies to the natural stuff too.
Don't judge a sweetener by its botanical name. Got it. Okay, let's get into the scientific civil war, because reading these studies gave me whiplash.
It's the great evidence paradox.
So on one side, you have these controlled trials, the RCTs.
Right, think of them like a lab experiment. You take a group, you give half of them diet soda, the other half sugary soda, and you want what happens for a few weeks.
And in those tests, diet soda wins.
It does. A big meta-analysis in 2022 showed that when people make that swap, they do lose a little weight, about 1 kilogram on average.
Okay, that makes sense. Fewer calories, you lose weight. It's just math.
It is. But then you have the other side.
Side B,
Yeah.
the real-world studies.
Exactly. The observational studies that track thousands of people for years, and these studies show the complete opposite.
What, like they gain weight?
Worse, regular drinkers have a higher risk of type 2 diabetes, more belly fat, heart issues. The MESA study found a 67% higher risk for diabetes.
67%. Wait, hold on. That's a huge number. How can both be true? How can it help you lose weight in the lab but give you diabetes in the real world?
Well, that gets to the big debate. Is it reverse causality?
The chicken or the egg thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are diet sodas making people unhealthy, or are people who are already worried about their health?
Reaching for the diet sodas to begin with.
Right. It's like seeing a lot of umbrellas and thinking the umbrellas are causing the rain.
But you're saying it's not just that anymore.
No. We can't just dismiss it, because now we're finding the actual biological mechanisms. We're seeing what happens after you swallow.
This is the part that really blew my mind. I always just assumed this stuff passed right through you.
Far from it. Let's start with your gut. Imagine your microbiome is a bustling city.
Okay.
In a healthy city, you have peacekeeper bacteria. One of the best is called Akkermansia.
Sounds like a spell from Harry Potter.
It's pretty magical, actually. It protects your gut lining and helps manage your glucose. We like Akkermansia.
We want the peacekeepers on patrol.
We do. But some of these sweeteners, like saccharin and sucralose, can cause a riot in that city. It's called dysbiosis. They kill off the good guys and let the bad guys, like E. coli, take over.
So you're basically tossing a grenade into your gut, and the result is what?
Inflammation and, ironically, glucose intolerance. They did a study where they took the gut bacteria from sweetener-fed mice and put it into mice with no bacteria.
And what happened?
The new mice suddenly developed blood sugar problems.
Whoa. So the bacteria themselves were carrying the damage.
Exactly. The sweetener changed the bugs, and the bugs changed the metabolism.
That's wild. But then there's the brain thing, the cephalic phase insulin response.
The brain tease, yes. So your body is ancient, right? It's running on Stone Age software.
Right.
When you taste something sweet, your brain tells your pancreas, hey, sugar's coming. Get the insulin ready.
But with a diet drink, the sugar never shows up.
Never shows up. You've rung the dinner bell. The pancreas has released the insulin, and nothing.
You've ghosted your own pancreas.
You really have. And a 2025 study found that just tasting sucralose, not even swallowing it, was enough to mess with insulin responses later on.
So you're constantly revving this metabolic engine for no reason. Eventually, something's got to break.
That's the theory. You could be setting yourself up for insulin resistance, which is the path to diabetes.
The very thing people are trying to avoid. The irony is just thick.
It is.
And while we're talking about the mouth, we have to talk about teeth, because this was a big wow for me.
It's not the sugar that's the only problem. It's the acid. Diet sodas are incredibly acidic. Phosphoric acid, citric acid.
You're basically bathing your teeth in it.
And that causes dental erosion. The studies show it can soften your enamel by 30 to 50%.
50%? That's a lot.
And once that enamel's gone, it's gone for good. It doesn't grow back.
Okay, so gut riots, confused brains, dissolving teeth. But now we have to get to the part of the research that was genuinely scary. We need to talk about erythritol.
Yeah, this is the big plot twist. This research came out of the Cleveland Clinic, and it really shook things up.
And erythritol is everywhere now. Anything keto-friendly.
Right. It's a sugar alcohol. It doesn't spike blood sugar, so everyone assumed it was totally safe. But this study, published in Nature Medicine, found something alarming.
What did they find?
They found that when you have a normal amount of it, like in a single keto-friendly product, your blood levels of erythritol don't just go up a little, they spike 1,000-fold.
1,000 times? That can't be right.
1,000-fold. It's astronomical. And it stays that high for days.
Okay, so why is that bad?
Because that massive spike makes your blood platelets sticky, hyperreactive.
Sticky blood sounds like the last thing you'd want if you're trying to avoid a clot.
It is the absolute last thing you want. The study showed a direct link between those levels and a much higher risk of clotting, heart attack, and stroke.
That's terrifying. The lead researcher, Dr. Hazen, even said that for some heart patients, sugar might be safer.
Which is a complete reversal of everything we've been told for decades. It's a classic case of solving one problem, the calories, but creating a whole new one.
A clotting problem.
Yeah.
So another group that needs to be careful is pregnant women, right?
Yes, this is critical.
Yeah.
A 2025 Australian study found that women who drank 5 or more artificially sweetened drinks a week had an 88% higher risk of gestational diabetes.
88%. That's nearly double.
It is. And that doesn't just affect the mother. It can program the baby's metabolism for issues later in life.
Wow. And just quickly, we should mention PKU. It's not new, but it's important.
Absolutely. Phenylketonuria. It's a genetic condition where you can't process an amino acid called phenylalanine.
Which is an aspartame.
Exactly. That's why there's a warning label on Diet Coke. For that specific group, it's a neurotoxin. For everyone else, it's fine. But for them, it's incredibly dangerous.
Okay. So after all this doom and gloom, is there any good news? Is there a hero sweetener on the horizon? I saw something called allulose.
Allulose is the new contender. It's called a rare sugar.
Sounds expensive.
It is, for now. But it's fascinating. It tastes and feels just like sugar because chemically it is a sugar, but our bodies can't really use it for energy. It's got about 1/10 the calories.
Okay, so low calorie, tastes good. What's the catch?
Well, here's where it gets really interesting. Early research suggests it might naturally trigger the release of GLP-1.
Wait, GLP-1, like in Ozempic?
Exactly like Ozempic, the hormone that makes you feel full. So allulose might not only save you calories, it could actually help with satiety.
That sounds like the holy grail, the thing we were promised from the start.
It does. But, and this is a huge but, we just don't have a long-term data. We don't want another erythritol situation where we find a major problem 10 years down the line. So it's promising, but we can't crown it king just yet.
Right. Caution is key. Okay, let's wrap this up. Let's go back to that person in the aisle. What's the final verdict?
It's all about harm reduction. The gold standard, level 1, is water. Unsweetened tea, black coffee.
Boring, but true.
Level 2 is diet soda. If you're drinking a ton of regular soda, switching to diet is a clear win for cutting sugar. But it's a tool. not a lifestyle.
Treat it like a nicotine patch.
That's a perfect analogy. Use it to get off the hard stuff, but the goal is to get off the patch eventually.
And level 3, the worst option is the sugary stuff.
Liquid metabolic chaos. So the key takeaway is to read the labels. Watch for erythritol if you have heart risks. Avoid aspartame if you have PKU. And remember, 0 calories does not mean 0 biological impact.
Which brings me to this last thought. Our bodies evolved for millions of years to link sweet with energy. It meant survival.
A rare and valuable signal.
Exactly. So when we drink these things, we're constantly crying wolf to our own metabolism. We're hacking a system that's been in place forever. So the question to leave everyone with is, are we breaking our own metabolic machinery by trying to be too clever?
As any programmer will tell you, hacking a complex system usually introduces new bugs.
Something to sip on. Thanks for joining us in the Deep Dive Lab today. This research is moving so fast, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our next investigation.
Stay curious, everyone, and stay healthy.